Hello everyone, this is Daniel with fitnessblender.com. Don't forget to subscribe below to make sure you get every brand new workout when it comes out Monday morning. Today we have about a 36-minute cardio low impact workout for you with some extra core work. So this one, though it's low impact, is not going to be easy. It's just going to be a little bit nicer on those joints, no high impact jumping motions, that kind of thing. So we don't need any equipment for this routine whatsoever, and we've got a warm up and cool down included. So let's go ahead and get started. So before we can get into the real fun stuff, we've got to get our warm-up done. So let's go ahead and get started with that. We're going to be doing each one of these for about 25 seconds each. So our first exercise is going to be just a side step with an arm cross. So we're going through these, like I said, 25 seconds. That's not a ton of time. So it's just nice and quick. Try to get a nice full range of motion every single motion you do. Making sure you really stretch those arms back as well as stretch them across. Make sure you also are alternating which arm comes on top every single time. Just a little bit of a stretch to that torso as you kind of pull that leg back behind you. We're doing a round down toe touch, so you're going to round those shoulders forward. Slowly work down those legs, down towards those toes. As far as is comfortable, while keeping those legs straight. And then slowly right back up again. Pull those shoulders back, stretch that chest, right back down. Toe touch sweeps are next, a little wider than shoulder width apart. And go down towards those toes on one side, sweep across to the other, back up, pause for just a second, and right back down. Just keep those lungs open, don't hold your breath, and every single motion you do, try to get a little bit further than you did the last time. Just don't want to get yourself to a point where you're uncomfortable. Squatting torso twist is next, so squat down right where you are. Keep that back perfectly flat and rotate left to right, just holding that static squat position. You're trying to use those muscles through your torso to rotate yourself as much as you possibly can. Don't twist your hips, keep those hips straight forward. And single leg toe touch kick. We call this a toe touch kick, but you don't actually want to kick that motion or kick that leg. You want to make sure that it's under control the entire time. Oops, switch. Keep it on one side. We've got enough time for both. Same thing on the other side. Hold it back, pull forward, reach down towards that toe, trying to let it touch. Try to hold that balance the entire time. The slower you move, the harder it's going to be, but also the easier it's going to be for holding balance. Makes it a little bit more difficult for muscle strength to move slowly, but it's easier for balance. With that relaxed, we're going into a warrior, so feet nice and wide apart. Bend one knee out, those arms come out level with the ground, and then pulse that bent knee. Almost get it out straight, and then drop right back down again as low as is comfortable. Keep those arms level, keep that chest straight up and down. Do the same thing on the other side, so bend that opposite knee. Looking off towards the same direction as that bent knee. Remember, drop it down into that kind of lunge or warrior position as far as you can each time. Don't completely lock out or straighten out that knee every single time. Alright, doing a calf raise and overhead press. So feet just about shoulder width apart, hands down by your sides as you press up on your toes, press over your head. As you come back down, pull those arms back down and work against yourself. So really push like you're trying to work, like you're trying to push a ceiling away from you, and then pull down like you're trying to do a pull-up. Press it back and forth. We're doing a lunge push-pull. So this one you're going to step forward in a lunge position, push forward with those arms. As you come back up, squeeze those arms back towards you. So press forward and squeeze. Press forward like a push-up and squeeze in like you're doing a row. All right, next one is gonna be a high knee with a hip opener. So you're gonna bring that leg straight up, open that leg out to the side, back forward, and down. So hold that static position. So it's very similar to like the up and outs that I usually do, but no jumping. But you're still waking up that hip joint and that hip flexor. And let it relax. We've got a side step squat. So you're gonna drop down into a squat, step to the side, come up, drop back down into a squat, step to the side, back up. So that step is while you're low. And you're just giving yourself a little bit of a break on each side by standing up. And let it relax. All right, we'll be right back to start into the cardio portion of this routine. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and start into our cardio portion. We're doing this a lot like our regular HIIT routines with 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We're gonna be doing an AB, 3 sets per exercise before we move on to the next group. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First 2 exercises are gonna be a sumo squat and a calf raise, and an alternating side lunge. So sumo squat and calf raises first. Feet out nice and wide, drop down nice and deep, come up onto those toes, and then stand back up. Nice and slow, up on those toes, right back up. So try to get as deep as you can each time. Keep that back nice and flat. Try to get up on those toes as high as you can each time. All right, alternating side lunge is next. So feet again out nice and wide. Actually, we'll start centered. Then you're out to the side, do a side lunge, back up to the center, same thing, out onto the other side. If you want to, once you get comfortable with that motion, start speeding it up. The faster you go, the more cardio you're gonna get out of this rather than just pure strength. All right, give it just a second. 10-second break, and we're gonna start right back in to those sumo squats with the calf raise. Like I said, we've got 3 of each of these. Feet out nice and wide, heels in a little bit, squat down as low as you can, up onto those toes, right back up. This is gonna take a little bit of balance. So if you need to go up against a wall or back of a couch, something like that, feel free to do so. And back to that alternating side lunge. Feet starting shoulder width apart. And start into it. Side. Remember, start speeding up as you start feeling more comfortable with that motion. This is just a step out to the side, no jumping. All right, let it relax for just a second. We're gonna go right back into those sumo squats. Got 1 more of each. So feet out nice and wide. Pick up that speed just a little bit. Keep those lungs open, back flat. Trying to get down as low as you can. This is a pretty difficult position for a lot of people just for flexibility reasons. Just go as low as is comfortable. And let it relax. We've got those alternating side lunges next. Again, try to keep that motion pretty quick as long as you feel comfortable that you're getting that form nice and clean. Lungs open, move quick, nice deep lunge on each side, flat back. And let it relax. All right, that's 3 of each. We're moving on to our next 2, which are walk downs and a tricep dip kick. So walk downs, starting feet shoulder width apart, down towards those feet, walk it all the way out, pause at the bottom, and walk it right back up. Full extension, right back down again. If you want to get fancy with it, throw a push-up at the bottom, by all means do so. We have some push-ups coming in later on. All right, that relax. We've got tricep dip kicks, so drop down onto your butt. Get those elbows back behind you. You're going to drop down and kick with one leg. So bring those elbows as close to straight back behind you as you can, and then lift a leg out in front of you. And back up. That's one of each. Got 2 more of each to go. Back to walk downs. Walk out with those hands. Right back up again. Alright, back down on the ground. Those tricep dips plus a kick. So tricep dip and kick. Opposite leg every single time with that kick. Try to get a nice contraction on that leg. Actually work against yourself a little bit with that hamstring and that quadricep, the front and back of your thigh. And back up. Got 1 more of each of those. Alright, walk downs. Try to make them a little bit quicker. As long as that form is clean. Alright, 1 more of those tricep dip kicks. Hips up, bend those elbows, then a leg, bend those elbows, opposite side. Try to get those elbows bent as far as is comfortable. Again, this is going to be a position that puts that shoulder in a bit of a stressed position, so don't try to go too low, only as low as is comfortable. That shoulder and elbow. Alright, so last one of those on each side. So we've got alternating lunge sweep squat. So, alternating leg sweep squat. So we're going down to the side, keep it nice and low, up to the other side, and back up. It's kind of like those leg swaps, but this sweeps, excuse me, but this time you're doing it down in that lunge, almost like a sumo squat, and then back up to a lunge, side lunge on the other side. Alright, alternating side lunge raises to a curtsey. So I'm going to do this about a 45 here so you can see what I'm doing. You're doing it alternating each side. So you're going to do a side leg raise, then immediately bring that leg back behind you, do a curtsey lunge, back up to the center. Side leg raise, curtsey lunge, back up to the center. You got to work that brain as well as your body. Alright, back to the alternating leg sweeps. Feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Down to the side for a side lunge. Come back through the center and back up. Alright, back. That alternating side leg raise with a curtsey lunge. So side leg raise first. Up and out to the side, curtsey lunge, back to center, side leg raise to curtsey lunge. Just keep it going. And let it relax. All right. Again, alternating side leg raise. Excuse me. Back to the alternating leg sweep. This is our last one of these. Brain's already starting to run down on me. This isn't a good sign. Alright, sweep it through. Lunge down to one side, sweep across, lunge back up on the other. So last one of these guys. Alternating side leg raise. Start moving it quick. Nice full extension on that side leg raise. Try to keep that torso straight up and down every time you do it. Bring that leg behind you just slightly as you do that curtsey lunge. And let it relax. Moving on to our next group, starting off with seal push-ups. So you're starting kind of a pike position. Sweep down through those arms, press it up, and then push right back up. So you get a little bit of a push-up position here, and then you drop back down and do a little bit of a shoulder press. All right, switch it around onto your back. We're doing a supine push-up plus a bridge. So feet tucked in nice and close, elbows out wide, press into those elbows, and then raise those hips. Press into those elbows, and raise those hips. And let it relax, back up. Actually back in that pike position for that seal push-up. Kind of a downward dog position, sweep it through, press up, and back to that piker, downward dog. Keep those lungs open, no holding your breath. And let it relax. If you can't do that off of your toes, by all means, go off of those toes, or off those. If you can't do it off your two toes, do it off your knees. Whew, get that out in a second. So, supine push-up to bridge. Press up in those elbows. Squeeze those hips up nice and high. One more of each. Like I said, if you can't do this pike push-up, or excuse me, the seal push-up through on your toes, do it on those knees. So you're just going to start from here, sweep through, press up, keep those knees bent, and press back. If you can, go from that full extension. It's going to be a lot harder. All right, last one of that supine plus bridge. Supine push-up and bridge. Make sure you get a really tight squeeze through those glutes as you lift those hips up. If you're glutton for punishment, do it alternating one leg at a time. Make it a little bit harder for those glutes. And let it relax. All right, just have one more group left to go. Doing a straight leg deadlift with an alternating lunge. So, straight leg deadlift, straight down, come back up, then step through with that lunge. Same thing, down, up, step through with that lunge. If you want to make it harder, do a single leg, and step through. Try to get one more in there. All right, so we're doing the alternating ski squat pivot to sumo squat. So feet facing straight forward. Nice and close together. You're going to squat down, open up, come back, and stand. Squat down, open up, come back, and stand. Try to use that balance as best you can. Take your time, get used to the motion. Let it relax. All right, back to that straight leg deadlift. Again, for harder version, do a single leg. Tip forward, back up, straight into a lunge. Tip forward, opposite leg, back up, straight into a lunge. Make sure you're alternating that leg every single time. Relax. Ski squat again. Feet together nice and close, shoulder width apart, or as close as is comfortable. You're going to squat down, open up, come back to center, and stand. Same thing the opposite direction. Open up, back to center, squat as low as is comfortable, flat back, out to that sumo squat, back to that ski squat, and back up. Let it relax. All right. Got one more of each, straight leg deadlift or single leg deadlift. Tip forward. Use those arms for balance if you need to. If you're doing a single leg. Otherwise, if you're doing both legs, just make sure you're getting a nice, clean motion. I'll go ahead and do my extra one here. All right, ski squat to sumo one more time. Squat down nice and low, open up, back to center, stand. Squat down nice and low, open up, back to center, stand. Just keep it going. Just make sure when you're transitioning, you're staying as low as you can. Make those legs have to work. And let it relax. All right. That was the last one of our cardio. Hopefully you're feeling a little worn out. That breath is a little short. But we have some cardio, or excuse me, some core stuff left to do. So we'll be right back to start into that core exercise. All right, everybody, we have the core portion of this routine left. So let's go ahead and get our timer started. We're gonna be doing each one of these for 30 seconds apiece. Again, AB format. We're just doing 2 sets of each of these, starting off with a crunch. So feet down on the ground, hands back behind your head. Nice and slow, you're gonna crunch those shoulders up towards those knees as high as you can. You're not trying to go up, you're trying to go down towards your hips, thighs, or knees. Slowly let it drop, but don't let those abs completely release. Crunch it right back up. Try to keep those elbows back out of your field of vision. As they start creeping in, you're going to start getting a little bit more weight across that center. So it makes it a little bit easier. So the further you keep those arms back, the harder it's going to be. And let it relax. We're going to move over to back bows next. So go ahead and flip over onto your stomach. Just switch around the other side. Just a traditional back bow. Everything comes up. If you want to make it a little harder, lift those legs. If you want just focus on that upper, just lift that chest. Lifting those legs gives you a little extra work through those glutes and those hamstrings. Just a nice, slow, controlled motion. Again, don't let yourself completely touch the bottom. Try to get as tight of a squeeze at the top as you can each time. Back to that crunch. Hands behind your head, elbows back out of your field of vision. Crunch up as high as you can, as tight as possible. Remember, you're not coming up onto your tailbone. You're trying to hinge around that lower back. So you almost want to feel like you're lifting your hips up off the ground as well. You're trying to fold in half from the middle of your stomach, not come up onto your hips. Relax, one more of those back bows. And everything comes up for the slightly harder version. Just that chest for the slightly easier version. If it's starting to feel too heavy, bring those hands to that lower back. Makes you have to not lift the weight of those arms. If you want it even harder, full extension on those arms gives you a little extra weight, a little extra leverage. Try to keep everything nice and even. Shoulders left and right come up at the same time. Let it relax. All right, we have a side hip raise next. Harder version, those feet are going to be stacked. Easier version, knees bent. You're going to bring those hips up nice and high. Dip that hip right back up. Try to keep those hips straight up and down, perpendicular to the ground. Don't tip over forward. relaxed. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, knees bent for easier version, legs extended for harder version. Just keep those knees and feet stacked. Drop that hip, press up, try to pull that shoulder underneath you down towards that hip. Try to press the side of your waist up as high as you can. All that effort is coming from the lower side, that lower oblique, not the top side. Relax, got one more of those on each side. Again, feet stacked for the harder. Hip down, press it up. As you do this, you want to feel like you're almost pushing that elbow out away from you to kind of shove that shoulder down, squeeze it into that hip. Those feet are going to try to slide on you. Try to keep them pulled in so that elbow stays right underneath that shoulder. All right, one more on the other side. If you start getting too tired to do the full motion, just hold a side plank for as long as you can until those muscles give out. Drop on those knees if you need to. And let it relax. All right, Russian twist is next. Back nice and straight. Lean back as far as is comfortable, as far as you can control, with a flat back. If you start leaning back too far, you start rounding. Stop. You just want to keep that back flat. Rotate left to right. Keep those hands directly in front of that chest. No swinging your arms back and forth. Your arms stay stationary, locked in with your shoulders and chest. All that motion is just coming around that torso. The further you lean back, the harder it's going to be. Let it relax for just a second. We've got a toe touch get up next. So come up, touch that toe, back down, same thing on the other side. You extend your left leg or right leg out, bring your left hand up, touch that toe, back down, same thing on the other side. Let that relax. We're going to go back in to that Russian twist. Feet out. Lean back, flat back, hands in front of your chest. Rotate left to right. For the harder version, if you want to go there, lift those feet up off the ground. Easier version is sitting more straight up and down. Lean back as far as you can. And let it relax. All right, that was the last one of those. We have one more of the toe touch get up, so flat on your back. Left hand, right foot to start. Right hand, left foot. And just keep alternating back and forth. Keep those lungs open, don't hold your breath. And let it relax. Got one more group to go. It's a jackknife crunch and a back bow circle. So land flat on your back, arms and legs out straight. Press that lower back to the ground and crunch up to those toes. Drop it back down, but don't touch. Right back up again. Keep that lower back flat against that mat. If you can't, then bend those knees to make the motion a little easier. Keep those lungs open, no holding your breath. Make those core muscles have to work harder. And let it relax. Back bow circles are next. So on your stomach, hands in front, come up to the side, all the way around, pause at the bottom, up, around the opposite direction. So you're actually drawing the circle with your head. Keep those lungs open, don't hold your breath. If you want to get a breathing pattern into this, it's going to be exhale as you come up, inhale as you drop. Let it relax. Alright, back to that Jackknife Crunch. Everything out completely flat, lower back on the mat. Start it up. Full extension or as close to it as you can get without letting that lower back come up. Try to get those shoulder blades up off the ground each time. Crunch up towards those toes. Let it relax. All right, back to the back bow circles. So last one. Up and around. Pause at the bottom. Back around the opposite direction. Just keep moving back and forth, nice and slow. Remember, if you need that breathing, it's exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Just keep those elbows back. If you want to make it harder, arms out. And let it relax. All right, grab a drink of water. We'll be right back to start into that cool down. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and do our cool down and we will be done. We're doing each one of these for 30 seconds apiece. Starting off with a seated toe touch. So just put those feet straight out in front of you. Nice and slow, start working your way down. Around that back if you need to. Flatten it out if you want to focus more on those legs. Try to keep those legs flat. Just reach down as close as is comfortable to those toes. If you can reach those toes, go ahead and grab them. Just let that back relax. Let those legs relax. So slowly start stretching it out. And let it relax. We're going to do a butterfly stretch next. So feet together nice and close. Pull them in as close as is comfortable. Use the muscles to the outside of those legs to pull those thighs down towards the ground. Stretch out through the inside of that groin. Just breathe normally, nice full deep breaths. Try to let yourself recover. Press those feet out by about a foot or so. We're going to get into that hip socket. So flatten that back out, lean straight forward, and the further you lean forward, the more you should feel it down inside that hip joint itself. Don't go too far, you just want to feel a little bit of a stretch. Just hold it right there. As that stretch starts to loosen up on you, just lean a little bit further forward. And let that relax. We're going to do a seated hamstring and torso stretch. So one leg out to the side, reach down towards that toe. If you can't reach that toe, that's fine. Just grab that shin. You can bring that other hand up over your head, reach it across to that same foot. You should feel a nice stretch to the outside of that torso as well as to that hamstring. Just hold it there, breathing normally, working into that stretch. It's a little bit more second by second. And switch sides and do the same thing on the other side. So kick that opposite leg out. Again, reaching down towards that toe or that shin, whichever is more comfortable for you. Bring that hand over top of your head and stretch across. Try to keep that chest opened up. Try not to lean down over towards that leg to really focus on getting that torso. And let it relax. We'll do a torso rotation. So one leg out straight, the other leg is over top. Turn towards that bent knee. Keep that torso straight up and down. Just rotate as much as you can, as much as it's comfortable. Look over that shoulder back behind you. Good. Switch sides. Opposite leg over. And rotate. I even get a few vertebrae popping into place with this one. Just breathe normally. And let it relax. Doing a deep glute stretch next. Lay out flat on your back. One leg crossed over top. Grab behind the thigh of that bottom leg and pull in. You should feel this in the leg you have crossed over. Just pull it in as close as comfortable. Once you start feeling that stretch to the outside of that glute, so inside that hip socket a little bit as well, just hold it there and let everything else relax, breathing normally. If you have sciatica issues, this is a great stretch for sciatica. Go ahead and switch sides. Same thing, grab behind that thigh, not on that shin, and pull in as close as is comfortable. Feeling that stretch with the leg that's crossed over top. Let that relax. We're going to switch to a Cobra. So flip around so you're flat on the ground. Hands down by the base of your rib cage, slowly press it up as high as is comfortable. If you can't get past this comfortably on your back, that's fine, just hold it there. If you can, a lockout, press those shoulders down away from you, chin up towards the ceiling. Let that relax, back down. We're going to go into a down dog, so curl those toes underneath, press up, and then kick those hips back. Try to shove those heels down towards the ground, keeping those legs straight, head down between those arms. Try to keep a triangle position from your wrists to your hips, down to those heels. And back down on the ground. Pull those knees up underneath you. Sit back into those heels. Stretch those arms out away from you for just a second. Should feel a little bit of a stretch to that shoulder. And bring those hands down by the sides of those knees. Push your palm down into the ground, pressing those shoulders back down towards those hips. Hold it for just a little bit longer. And let it relax. All right, good job, guys. As the end of this routine, feel free to let us know how you like this routine in the comment section below, what exercise you do like, what exercise you don't like, how you would rather see it done, or if you liked it just the way it was. Let us know. Other than that, hope to see you guys next Monday. This workout is complete.